Employee wellness isn't just a perk, it's a strategic growth lever. Now, in this episode, we're going to uncover how bringing wellness in house can boost productivity, loyalty, and build a company culture, transforming your teams, improving their health into a business advantage.
Welcome to Fortify Live with your host, Ford Saeks.
Joining me today is Cody Beard. He's the owner of Prime IV Wichita, a wellness franchise focused on helping organizations support their teams in real, actionable ways. And full disclosure, yes, I'm also a customer. Now, he's implemented wellness programs that deliver energy, recovery, and build real results for both employee and company performance. Now, Cody, what led you to invest in the wellness franchise? And welcome to Fortify Live.
Yes, thank you so much. Nice seeing you again. Well, shoot, we could go a long ways back. I'll tell you, most recently, before my wife and I decided to open the 2 locations here in Wichita, I used to run manufacturing plants. And with that, I was always looking for ways of course, being economical, but finding the best ways to keep my team safe, to keep their wellness up, and also to keep their engagement. We did lots of things like bringing chiropractors, bringing massage therapists. All are absolutely wonderful. But this was really that next level of what we thought we could bring in-house and actually do the shortest amount of time, the most economical, but also have the biggest impact on people's wellness. So if you go all the way back to, and depends on who you ask, my wife or I, 16 or 17 years ago when we got married. She has shorter, of course. But anyways, we started our health journey back then. And really, it led us all the way to knowing we wanted to open a business together, but we weren't exactly sure what that was going to be. You know, it started with eating better, focusing on our sleep, really paying attention to how our body felt. Fast forward another 10 years, and it really led us to this business because we felt like it wasn't something we'd have to sell. It was just part of who we are, and it fit really well into who we were. We started going up to Kansas City to a Prime IV location up there. Absolutely loved the way it made us feel. And so we knew this was the next evolution, and we thought we could spread that with the city of Wichita, which we've called home for over 16 years now.
Well, our listeners are business owners, entrepreneurs, franchisees, franchisors, and this show is all about accelerating business growth. And I first came involved with you because I was looking for ways to have better health. I'm a cyclist, and I had fatigue, and I wanted to feel better. And I had no idea that there even was IV therapy, right? So I came in and you and Lacey helped me understand what it could do for me. And then I'm like, well, this sounds like a great thing to do for my team. And so, as you know, my team's been in there multiple times. And so for those of you listening, I had my team come in and they all got to pick their own IV therapy. They got to sit in the massage chairs and have the full treatment, full A to Z. Now, full disclosure for this, I'm not giving anybody medical advice. This is for information, educational purposes only. But I'm just going to tell you that there are ways now, healthy ways of accelerating. And what we're really talking about is how do you take care of your team? There's an epidemic right now of turnover in the business world. People are overworked, they're underpaid, they're stressed out, they're dealing with more issues. So having a service like Prime IV, whether you go once or whether you go on a regular basis, I go monthly. And so that's what I'm doing now. And it's working out really well. Obviously, you can tell I have lots of energy, right? Because I just had my IV yesterday, so it's all good. But Cody, as you think about your business growth, you got into this because it was something that aligned with you and Lacey. But what are some of the biggest lessons you learned stepping into franchise ownership? Because I know you had businesses before, and now you're a franchisee.
Yeah, absolutely. So as far as the franchise goes, it's a great model because there's support there. We also, full disclosure, we did not go into this as experts in this field, but they were able to support us both clinically, with the thing, keep us legal and all those things, but also just the knowledge and the training. And so it's been a really good model for us because all the customer experience and focus on building teams and things that we brought from our past lives, we got to take that into this without having to be the expert on health and wellness in this field in particular. So for us, it's been a great model.
And so what's an ideal organization, and what do you recommend for them? So you think about the businesses. Obviously, you're local in Wichita, and you've got 2 locations, one on the east side and one on the west side. But there's national Prime IVs that people can go check them out. And if you're listening to the audio podcast. Again, this is Cody Beard. He's the owner of Prime IV Wichita, and you can find him online at primevhydration.com. Okay, so what if someone's a business owner and they're thinking about this? Where should they start to think about either bringing you in to do a presentation that shares how they can get better sleep and more energy and less sickness? Or do you recommend they just come in and bring their team in?
Yeah, both ways work. I will tell you, there's nothing better than walking into our spa. Our favorite thing that we get is when people walk in, they go, oh, because they're expecting more of a clinic setting, more of a sterile type feel. We absolutely are a medical spa. I always say big spa, small medical. So I recommend coming in. We'd love to set up a lunch and learn with you and your team. We, of course, would love for you to try the services, much like my wife and I. That was really the deal changer for us. It's one of those things when like my team, they all do drips because if they can speak it because of the way it makes them feel, absolutely. We also do lunch and learns on site. So say you're a super busy professional and you need the 20, 30-minute rundown. You don't have time for the full presentation at our spa. We'd love to set up a time to come in, feed some lunch with the folks that take care of wellness, employee engagement, the owners, and give a presentation on who we are and really make it understood what we do. This isn't a new way of doing wellness, but it is newer in the Wichita area. And so a lot of people don't know where to start. They may think they have to be an expert coming in. That is not the case at all. We are the experts. So really, if you come in with an open mind and even a small goal of just employee engagement or keeping my team hydrated during the summer, or, hey, everyone's getting sick right now, whatever the focus is, we can start there and we can tailor a plan that's right for you. When we work with businesses, it's several different ways. We do on-site events. So say you want to have your whole team get together, whether that's the whole team, your management team, certain production team members. We can focus primarily on whatever you're looking for, or you can send them in and we can just put you down as a corporate membership and send your folks in whenever they have time to take care of their wellness. The great part is and we've all worked for these people, there's saying that you want to help with employee engagement and then actually doing it. And this is a way to actually do it, keep your team safe, make them feel better, and let them know you truly have their back on their wellness.
Yeah. And there's two takeaways here, everybody. One, of course, is taking care of your employees, giving them an opportunity to be educated, and then also come in and he's got corporate programs. But the second thing is for businesses here, look at what Cody's doing. He's a local franchise, right? He's a franchisee and he wants to build trust and credibility. So he's reached out. He's a guest on Fortify Live, which we go worldwide, but certainly we have local listeners. And then he's also offering those lunch and learns. So think about yourself as a business owner. What could you do? What problem could you solve where you would go into another business and do something educationally? You're not selling. It's not an infomercial. You're going in there and you're offering it. So that's what Cody's doing as a local business. He's building trust and credibility and social proof and goodwill by offering lunch and learns to organizations that always can benefit from giving their employees a way to feel better, look better, and be better. So congratulations on both those two benefits there. So, okay, as you position yourself as a wellness, person and a company advantage, it's not just a benefit. What is something that has surprised you? And full disclosure for everybody listening, he doesn't know what questions I'm going to ask. So, give me a chance to stumble over this question. But what's something surprisingly that when you got into this business that really shocked you, either good or bad, that you didn't know when you joined?
Well, honestly, I never really thought much about my sleep. I always slept pretty well, I felt like. And as I started doing the IVs more frequently, of course, 1 is great for you. It's kind of like going to the gym. 1's great, 2's great, 3's great. You keep up the wellness routine. And really, that's when you start seeing the life-changing benefits. But sleep is one that really, really stuck out to me. I always thought I slept good. I always thought I had good energy. I think if you'd ask anybody I ever worked with, if I was a high energy individual, I think they'd say yes. But that's where I really started noticing it. I crest over 40 years old little while ago.
You're just a puppy.
And barely over 40, few days. But the point is, you always have this mindset. Well, once I hit 40, this is just the way I feel. Once I hit 50, this is just the way I feel. And with today's wellness, it's just absolutely not the case. There's so many things we can do that is science backed, is our medical director backed, that really help with your sleep, with your energy, with your focus, all these things that we've just kind of historically accepted as, well, when you hit this certain age, you start feeling this. And much like a lot of your listeners, I don't really have time to be, it's okay to be 40, it's okay to be 50. I really need to be on all the time because that's what my team members expect. That's what my employees expect, what my customers expect. And so what surprised me was real energy, and not the kind where it's just short-lived and it pops up and I feel good and then I'm drained afterwards. Now I get great sleep and that 2-3 o'clock crash that I'd kind of become accustomed to is just not the case anymore. I usually have energy till the end, and then very much like a light bulb, when it's time to go to bed, you turn it off and I'm there. And so that wasn't something I went into it. I did a lot of journaling to kind of see how I felt, doing the different drips, trying different formulas, but sleep and the energy and the focus, my ability to stay focused on a task with all of the modern society distractions, that's what jumped out to me the most.
Can't cut through the online chaos? This episode is powered by Ignite Visibility, the nation's expert in ROI-driven digital marketing. We help over 90 leading franchise brands and 2,500 locations outrank competitors and convert more customers. Ready to stand out and grow? Claim your free digital marketing audit at ignitevisibility.com. Ignite your growth.
So when you think about leaders and organizations that want to have wellness programs, I think a lot of them are worried about disruption, and maybe they're worried about liability. They don't want to send their people into something that they're not sure of. But what advice would you have for those listeners that have employees that are considering some type of wellness solution? Because I think it's great. I mean, full advocate, everybody. I've been told I'm not normal, so that could be good or bad, however you want to interpret it. But, if you think about organizations, there's a lot of things that they try to do. They do team building, and, they'll do a lunch and learn where they do play a video or something. But what I like about what you're doing is it really affects their whole mind and body part. What advice would you have for companies considering using your services?
Yeah, great question. So send a guinea pig. I know that sounds oversimplified, but the reality is the reason why we have our nurses try out all the drips and do it routinely, the reason why we do introductory offers if you're a first-time guest, is we know, not just think, we know that you're going to feel amazing. And it's going to be infectious. I mean, most of our businesses offer referrals. Of course, we spend advertising dollars just like every other business does, but most of our businesses offer referrals. So it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving. You send in your guinea pig. Of course, I'd love to give you a presentation, but if you just want to start really simply, send in someone that's open-minded and wants to try this out, and they'll see that it's number one, not intimidating, not scary. You don't have to be an expert in the field, because again, that's where we come in. And once they feel the benefits, that's where the magic happens. Every lunch and learn we've done, every corporate type relationship I have, it never started with a full-blown, let's sign on and do all 15 of my leadership team over this. It started with one person, and they came in, and then they became an advocate because of the way they feel, the way they were treated, and the experience they had at Prime IV. I'm very proud. Of course, our Wichita locations. If you're watching this and you're not in Wichita, by all means, please look that same website up, primevhydration.com. There's over 170 locations, and there's probably one near you. And I'm positive they're doing the same type of work with corporations. But send the guinea pig, have someone come in. You can read about it all you want. You can watch our things on social media. But when you walk in and you see the excitement from our team members when a new person walks in, or a person that's walked in 100 times, and you smell the place and you see how clean it is and just how beautiful it is and relaxing it is, you'll see why we focus so much on our treatments and the experience that people have. So send a team member in, we'll take care of them, and then we'd love to see, we will see the rest of your team from that point.
Yeah. And so, what does that really mean for those listeners? Well, you want a trial. I mean, the reason you've done so well building referrals is because you're getting a great experience. And for those of you listening, when you're looking to build by referrals, you have to look for the happiness moments, and you have to encourage the conversation with those people. So it's great that you're doing a great job, But before someone leaves Prime IV, you're a fan of saying, hey, don't keep us a secret. And then they go, what? Well, we're never too busy to help your friends or colleagues out with their wellness needs. So being intentional about referrals, because this is the Business Growth Show, right? Being intentional about referrals, making sure that your staff knows how to do it so that when a customer exhibits happiness, for anybody listening, whether it's B2B, B2C, inside this industry, outside this industry, doesn't matter. It's about letting the person know, hey, we're never too busy to help your friends or colleagues or family or whatever the relationship is with their fill in the blank needs. It could be HVAC, air conditioning. It could be lawn mowing, landscaping, whatever. But I'm never too busy to help you. And I think what's nice is you guys always have a smiling staff. You've done a really good job of training the right staff. And I want to go back to something you said when you first started the episode today, was you said, when they come into our locations, it's 80 spa, 20% clinic, right? Now, obviously it's a clinic, but it gives them the feeling of wellness, the music, the sound, the lighting, the cleanliness, the chairs, the just everything from A to Z. So the takeaway for everybody is, what's your user experience like, everybody, as you listen to this episode and you think about your business? Think about the customer journey from a suspect to a prospect, to a qualified lead, to a customer or client, to an advocate. And as you think about that journey, where in that journey can you add value? And so one of the things that Cody's done really well with, being a top person in Wichita with IV therapy, is really taking care of the people and taking care of the people that work for him. His primary customers are his staff. Secondary customers are his clients. Obviously, Lacey isn't on this episode. Lacey's the brains, for those of you listening to the replay. She's the brains behind this. I want to give her full credit where it's due. Plus, she listens to it, Cody. We need to give her some credit. So Lacey's amazing. If you haven't seen them on TikTok or on social media, go check them out. Prime IV Wichita. But the key is, so now that you know what it is, to build referrals, what is something else that you're doing to market Prime IV? So you're doing the lunch and learns, you're doing the in-house stuff, you're offering the trials or to come in, or the discounts to come in. What else are you doing locally to build your business as a franchisee?
Yeah, absolutely. Way more than just words. It's important to be part of the community. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. My wife and I've coached youth sports for over 15 years at this point. And I say my wife and I, while she hasn't been blowing the whistle, if you don't have the support structure of a in-house teammate when you're coaching, then you're not an effective coach, just in my opinion. So point is that community connection. And so there's different phases of this. We try to help out any local business that asks, and please, if you're listening to this and maybe IV therapy isn't in your immediate thoughts for wellness, come check us out. We love to collaborate on things. We love to donate baskets if someone's trying to have an event or something like that. We love that type of stuff because we realize it's serving a bigger purpose. It may not bring a dime into our business in that moment, but if you look at it at its core, it's helping the community. And ultimately, when the wellness community in Wichita wins, we all win. I love it when someone just came from Pilates down the shopping center. They walk in and they've just come from Pilates, because I know that they are focused on wellness because they're coming to see us and they're doing other things, right? We can take care of a whole lot within our spa, but it's great to have someone helping you with your diet, helping you with your exercise, things like that. So as far as the community outreach goes, I think that part is very important, being visible. So going to events, helping support local businesses that are in the same realm. If you stop looking at each other like a competition and more like you make the table bigger when there's more of us in the realm, that's the way to think of things, right? I love when I see people doing IVs that maybe they're not doing it with us, but guess what? That's putting the word out that this is a true way to create wellness in your life and really make lasting changes in your health. I know we talked about sleep and energy a lot, but we do so many cool things. We got people that, they'll help themselves with inflammation, weight loss. I mean, there's a lot of things that we do. And it all starts with that first step in. And a lot of times it's being out in the community and really giving back right to the community that's given us. So that's definitely one of the avenues we like to take. If there's any type of partnerships like that, we love to hear about. You can't do them all, right? But we absolutely love hearing about that. And that's a great way to advertise. Even if it's indirect, it's more about taking care of the community, but you also get your name out. We love that type of stuff.
So, recap, we want to be active in the community. You want to look for centers of influence. Who else reaches the same prospect you do and building a relationship with them? I know that one of the things you do is you go to those centers of influence and you ask them to come in and experience in it, because then once they become an advocate, they're more willing to talk to their customers and clients about it, right? So you're building community will, you're sponsoring, you're doing gift baskets and dropping off. And then I know you also do advertising. In your business, I could see Google AdWords being Google advertising and remarketing, retargeting being a value added, because it is the type of service that if someone's interested, they may go search. One of the things that I like is that you've got content on a lot of different areas of focus, right? Because you've got inflammation, weight loss, energy, better health. What are some of the other key buckets of topics that the IVs work with?
Yeah, so obviously the energy, I know you just mentioned that one. That's a huge one. Weight loss, brain fog is a big one that we get. There's a whole lot of science that goes into it, but right, if you don't have the amino acids, the B vitamins, all these things, you're just not functioning like your body is supposed to. So inflammation is another big one. Again, weight loss and energy, those are the big two. We see a lot of people for different things. We can do different types of fluids. So some folks with POTS come in because they need all the sodium they can get. And it's also just an hour of relaxation. So a lot of times just resetting the mind, coming in and sitting in our massage chair, getting the vitamins. We do a lot of detox for people. Now, detox has this negative connotation, like you've taken a substance or you've drank a bunch of alcohol, something like that. But your body's always detoxing. And just in general, with air pollution and things that are in the food and things that are in the water, our body's always detoxing something. So we do a lot of detoxing for folks, heavy metal detox. So that's a big one that we focus on. And once your body's able to detox and kind of get over the hump of all the contaminants in your system, all that stuff that we've been talking about also improves. So another focus, hydration. A lot of times I like to say, and I won't throw out names, I like to say that we have national, state, and world champions that have come to us and have done huge things in their sporting events. Not because of all the years of dedication, but it's because they got an IV drip right before competing. Yep. So just saying. But yeah, absolutely. Athletes. We love our athletes. Everything we do is all natural. So it's a way to feed your body what it needs and take care of business. And of course, the hydration comes along with it.
All right. So there's this new thing, or I call it new, that you've been offering, and it's a buzz right now. NAD. What is it? Why should people be thinking about it?
Let's see how much time we have. Just kidding. Really. I love NAD. So we actually.
So what is it? What is it? Like for our listeners, what is NAD?
Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide is what it is. It is a coenzyme. It's found in every cell in your body. When you hit approximately 40 years old, you've had long periods of stress, you've taken a substance for a long time. That doesn't necessarily just mean alcohol, but if you have drank alcohol for a long time, not even necessarily abusing it, but you've drank it for a long time, SSRIs, just substances that kind of pull down on the nervous system. With all that, your body will make less and less and less and less in NAD. And it's found in every cell in your body. So your body has a certain level that it needs to function properly. So I like to call it a little battery pack that's stuck to the mitochondria. So the mitochondria is kind of like a little Roomba vacuum inside of each of your cells. It's responsible for a lot of things. It's responsible for detoxing the cell down inside the cell on the cellular level, repairing DNA. And then the big one it does is creates ATP. ATP is the currency of energy inside your body. So if you boil it down, NAD is a little battery pack for mitochondria. There's a big focus on mitochondrial health right now in a lot of the wellness world, and I love it because it's a great focus, and it's shown some amazing improvements when your mitochondria is functioning well, just how the cell functions well. So NAD, we do it in two forms. We do injections. We also do IVs. I often get asked a lot, well, which one is better? It's not that one's better or worse. The injections are quick. If you don't have a lot of time to invest, come in for an injection. It's a smaller dose, so you might have to come see us more frequently to reach the goals you're looking for. The IVs is a very large dose, but generally those take about 4 to 6 hours per session. So a lot of people work from home that day, or they, we get to know them pretty well because they hang out with us for a while. But they're both great routes to take, injection or via IV. What does it do for you? What do you notice? It's an energy explosion. It's like a rolling back, father time on your brain function, clarity, brain fog. Biggest thing is energy. For the ladies, there is a big benefit to the skin. There's a ton of research out there that NAD actually, because of all the things I discussed, repairing DNA, detoxing the cell, has a big vanity aspect to it. Helps with the skin elasticity. So it's amazing. I have to, when someone asks me about it, I have to make sure to calm down a little bit because I do get really excited. And we do a ton of NAD treatment. We used to have to order it patient specific, and we would worry about it sitting on the shelf if we ordered the in-house office use stuff. But now we fly through that stuff. But it's for great reason. It's nothing I have to sell per se. People come in, they try it out, and then they love it because of the way it makes them feel.
Well, I've had 2 now. You need to tell me what frequency I need to come in because you're my boss here. Got to tell me when to come in again. But the first time I came in, I'd been cycling. I cycle. I used to be a pro cyclist. Now I'm just retired. I just kind of do it for fun, but I still cycle 2-3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. I rode 50 miles on Saturday. And so I was a little down, a little energy. And I came in, I had my Champions IV. And while I was there, I said, upgrade me to the NADs for the second one. And, I took it as a shot. And it was great.
It was great.
I really felt so much energy, so much cleaner and clarity. And that's why I was like, I'm really looking forward to this episode today.
Yeah,
all right. As we get ready to wrap up, any closing thoughts you have for our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, advocating for IV therapy as a whole. Obviously, I want you to come see us at Prime IV Hydration Wellness. But IV therapy really can be a game changer for professionals, for people that just don't want to accept that I'm 50, so I have to feel this way. I'm 60, I just have to feel this way. It's a way to reset your body. It's a way to detox your body. It's a way to feed your cells down to the cellular level and give them what was intended to be in our food. And our food source isn't as fantastic as it used to be. The point is, it's a direct 100% absorption. I always say that you can do 3 things. You can supplement doing nothing. You can supplement orally, or you can come see me and get an IV or an injection. And obviously, I'm going to advocate for the injection of the IV, but that's because it's 100% absorption. Whereas the daily vitamins, wonderful. I would never tell someone to stop taking the vitamins necessarily, but they don't absorb. 10 to 15% if you have a really good gut system. But give IV therapy a try. Again, I'm obviously advocating for Prime IV and to come see me locally, but it's something as soon as you get into, you'll really see the benefits. And it's just an exciting place to be in my life. It's exciting serving the population. I used to work in manufacturing, and while that also was serving the world, no one ever came back in to tell me how cool that part I made was. Just never got that. Whereas here, I get it every day, and people come back in, I get all their amazing stories. So definitely look into IV therapy. Come see us at Prime IV. And Ford, I appreciate you. And thanks for having me on, and thanks for letting me spread my word.
Thank you for tuning in to Fortify Live. Make sure to like, comment, and share this episode on your favorite social media platform. And don't forget to subscribe to the Business Growth Show podcast, available wherever you get your podcast streaming fix. We air weekly at 11 a.m. Central Time. So until next week, keep pushing the boundaries and never stop growing.